Okay, episode number 4 of the Big Sleaze. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, Lee here.
Hello, Swandies.
Rosie here with I'm still on holiday drink.
Woody here.
Hi, I'm Mike here as well.
I'm still on holiday drinks as well. So.
I can't believe there were leftovers.
Do you not get prepared properly, Swandis? Get the booze in.
No. Exactly.
Cool. Let's kick off by going to Big Sleaze 3. So yeah, we went home, which is not Big Sleaze 2. It is actually Big Sleaze 3. So this game doesn't appear to be sequential at all. It's not as if you finish one part and then you go to the next part and do the second part and then finish that and do the third part. It appears like this whole game world is divided up into different parts and you can kind of move around freely between them. You just have to save your game and reload it in between. And I don't know if it's just the route that we've taken, but the route that we've taken requires us to go from Big Sleaze Part 1 to Big Sleaze Part 3. Presumably at some point we'll go to Big Sleaze Part 2. But the locations that we know about, or the first one that we knew about that is not in Part 1, happened to be in Part 3. That seems to be what's happened. And so I've started. Oh, there we go. I've started a new spool file for Part 2, although we're actually in Part 3. That has replayed our game from last week. So yeah, we've gone to Chinatown. We've gone and witnessed the death of Dyke Spanner, I think his name was. And then we've gone into the Mr. Wang's old curiosity shop, and we've met. Was it Eenie Weenie Wang?
Weenie Wang.
And told them to open the door for us. So that's where we are. Although I'm not convinced this is the right save. I'm just going to restart actually. Oops, no. Okay, no, fair enough. Maybe that is the right one. Let's have a look at our inventory quickly. Bunch of keys and I don't think this is the right one. Hang on. I want to make sure I've got 2 save games on this tape, and I want to make sure that it loads the latest of the 2. All right, fine. I guess this one is it. I don't think there's anything to do here. There's a side door in the south wall, which I think we've opened because who was it? It was just Weenie Wang. There we go, Weenie Wang. Opened it and then went through it. We can look at some of the objects. We look at cabinet, I think. It says whatever was inside, it didn't know what it was. It just looked like the sort of thing you shouldn't expose to sunlight, get wet, or feed after midnight. So yeah, nice to see there's a Gremlins reference. We didn't get anything from Dyke, but I did check because he mentioned Brooklyn Heights, and Brooklyn Heights is a new location. So it's not the office, and we can go there in this part. We don't have to go back to Part 1 to visit Brooklyn Heights. But I just tested that. I didn't get out of the car. So so we have Manhattan and the library as another location, and we have Brooklyn Heights. We can also go into the Dragon Bar. Like, we avoided going into the Dragon Bar, but that is still something that we could do. and we can go south through the side door here in the old curiosity shop. So let's do that first.
Let's go.
I was in Mr. Wang's back room. It was small, cramped, and crowded out with all sorts of junk. A worktop lay along the south wall, and a door was in the north wall. I also noticed a cloth. Nobody else here. Far distant, a clock chimed 6 p.m. The cloth had a liberal coating of, unless I missed my guess, it was copper polish.
I mean, we are sort of a copper. Sorry.
We need to go to the police station. Actually, the police station was weird as well, because we went and spoke to Commandant, what was his name? I can't remember his name. In the police station. Spiel or something. Splat. Commandant Splat. And he said he had something to show us. And then these other two coppers came in and talked gobbledygook. And then he left with them and told us to go home. So we never got to see whatever it was that he said that he wanted us to have a look at. I'm just remembering that. That struck me as very odd, that whole thing. But anyway. So let's look at the worktop. Nothing special. We can look at junk. Used chopsticks, Bruce Lee t-shirts, little self-igniting Buddhas, etc. Okay, so I guess this is just to pick up this cloth. We don't know what it's for yet. And there's nowhere else to go in the curiosity shop, so we can go back east. And then we can go south, where we see the remains of Dyke Spanner. We tried searching, but it says be more specific. Nothing special grabbed our attention. He doesn't seem to have anything on him. And the Dragon Bar is to the east, so I'm just going to go into the Dragon Bar. It was just inside the front door. I was just inside the front door. Steps led down into the darkness, and the smell of alcohol and really thick milkshake drifted up from below. Okay, we can go down. I looked around. The Dragon Bar seemed to be just that, not a room full of fat women, but a huge green counter covered in scales with a dragon's head at one end and dragon's tail at the other end, and various dragon accessories in between. There were several tables, medium-sized dragons, and the punters squatted uncomfortably on small dragons, which I suppose were meant to be chairs. The walls were covered in pictures of you-know-what, and a worn flight of steps, surprisingly undragon-like, led up to the street outside. I also noticed the villain. The villain raised his M16 and began fumbling with the safety catch.
Wow, okay.
So this is the villain who shot Dyke with an M16.
We have our gun on us.
Yes. Shall I shoot villain, shall we? I raised my rod and let it spit. Gunfire ripped through the bar as I emptied shell after shell at the villain. Fairly soon I wounded him, and pushing me out of the way, he charged up the stairs and outside. He had a pretty severe limp, so I suppose I must have hurt him. We follow?
I would
Okay,
think so,
guess
yeah.
so.
Okay, same description as before. Let's go west. Remains of Dyke Spanner. North. Old Curiosity Shop.
This feels like they've just left the game, doesn't it?
It
Yeah.
does, yeah. North again. I think it's west from here. Back to where our car is. Yeah. It does. It looks like they've just left the game, but obviously now we can explore the Dragon Bar, which we couldn't otherwise. Okay, I've just gone back into the bar, which gives us the same description, and it says, "I also noticed somebody's leg."
Was it attached to that person's body?
Examine leg. Just an ordinary male, slightly hairy left leg. A bit of photograph fell from the sock.
Well, it's a good job that you chose to shoot that leg, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I obviously wounded him slightly. He was limping.
Pretty severe limp if he's left his leg behind.
Yeah, it's just a flesh wound.
I know what I'm about to say is very much a long shot, but I wonder whether like hospital is another location that we could go to that he might have gone to. Just
Okay. Let's see if we can get the leg. We can. We're now carrying a bunch of keys, a gun, a cloth, somebody's leg, and a bit of photograph. It's like counterfeit monkey. Not really anywhere else to go. Nobody here to talk to. Punters. No.
Maybe we just about go there to get that piece of photo.
Yeah, I think so. I think if there was anything else to do, it would be a bit more obvious, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Did we feel like we've got all of the photo now?
We have 4. We
I
could
don't
try.
know. Yeah. I don't think we've found out how many pieces there are yet.
We didn't.
I couldn't remember whether we thought it was 4, we were just speculating, or whether it said anything. Maybe it didn't say anything.
No, I think we were just guessing.
What have I got? Got 3. Okay. So I'm now carrying all 4 bits of photograph. Couldn't tell much about the picture till I found all the bits. No.
It's just going to trigger something, isn't it, when we pick up the last piece of photo?
Yeah.
I'd imagine, yeah.
Or at least have all of them in the same location. What's our score?
I'm gonna drop all the photos. Okay, just got our keys. 4. 38%. I'm gonna RAM save. And then we'll try your idea of going to a hospital, Mike. No. So, oh, what's his name? What was the French guy on the telephone? Marlowe. Monsieur Marlowe said that he was going to the library in Manhattan, and Dyke told us that the dame from Brooklyn Heights was the key to the case. So do we go to Manhattan or do we go to Brooklyn Heights? Any opinions?
Brooklyn
Brooklyn.
Heights.
Yeah, Brooklyn Heights.
Yeah, okay. I'm conflicted. Half of me thinks going to Brooklyn Heights and speaking to the Dame to get the key is the most important. The other half thinks that we should do everything else before we go and speak to the Dame. But let's go to the Dame.
To get the key? Which key?
No,
No.
she's the key to the case, isn't
Yes.
she?
Yeah. Okay. It could be an actual key. It's true. Brooklyn Heights.
That wasn't actually my intention to make that.
Oh, okay.
But now that you've said it, and yes, that it could, knowing this game, that could be a literal key.
Good. Okay. I'm gonna get my gun and wallet. So we basically got keys, gun, and wallet. I think I'm wearing the Mac. Am I? Oh, I'm not. I'm not even wearing the Mac. I'm gonna. Okay. All right. I'm gonna at least look like a detective. Okay, let's ram save here.
Don't you need a hat?
I do really. That's one thing I haven't got. Like a trilby. Okay, let's get out.
You should be
Still in-
spending every other turn lighting a cigarette.
Yeah. Well, presumably the very final thing I do is light my last lucky. I'm assuming. Yeah. I stood in a parking lot somewhere respectable in the Heights district of Brooklyn. The place was expensive looking. The apartment block was north, and the entire lot was surrounded by well-kept bushes and a neat grass verge. The bushes were very neatly trimmed into shapes. Nearby, one was cut to resemble a couple of very friendly elephants. Okay. Let's go north then. I was in the lobby. It looked out of place here, being more suited to a Beverly Hills residence. To the south, through the plate glass, the parking lot was visible, while a plush staircase hiked it upstairs. Bear in mind, it's after 6 o'clock at the moment. But let's go up. The top of the stairs was as swish as downstairs, and believe me, pal, that was saying something. This was a long hallway running west, done out in soft, subtle tones and thickly carpeted with a deep, springy Persian. Expensive statues of fat little cherubs lined the hall, making the place feel like some sort of live-in museum. Examine Persian, nothing special grabbed my attention. Examine cherubs, real horrible if you ask me. Every last one of them looked grotty enough to be your kid brother. Okay. Let's look at carpet. Interesting. The motif on the carpet was remarkably similar to the bushes outside. Humping elephants. Okay. Okay, we can't look under. Go west. I was at the western end of the hall. The solid pine door to the north looked every bit as expensive as its surroundings. I also noticed the pine door was shut. We can unlock the door. Open door. North. This was what I called an apartment. The whole place was decked out beautifully with low lighting and Athena art everywhere. The room itself was luxuriously warm and soft music drifted like evening mist across the perfectly manicured carpet. The bedroom was north, with a pine door south and other open doorways in the east and west walls. I also noticed the luscious dame. Ask Dame about case. Says, come on, forget the talk and let's see the action, said the Dame. Action's she talking about?
Show her your gun.
Show her the leg you're carrying.
Yeah, show my third leg.
Oh, God.
I think unfortunately you left your third leg in the car.
I did leave it in the car. It's hairy with a sock on it as well.
Yeah, it's not much of a boast.
I've got to find another way to impress her, I guess. I don't know what to say.
I don't think we've managed to interact with any characters in this
No.
game. have
No, we haven't. I think that "come on, forget the talk" is just the generic response.
Yeah, yeah. Who did we get information about her from?
Dyke.
Dyke. Do you want to ask Dame about Dyke? Or even tell Dame about Dyke?
Mm. I think you're supposed to say to Dame, Dyke's dead, maybe? No. Say to Dame, help.
Do you still have the photos?
They're in the car.
Maybe you need to show her the photos.
Maybe. Let's have a look in the other rooms. The kitchen was very modern. Okay, so the kitchen is west. All built-in units and shiny appliances. A varnished wood table occupied the centre of the carpet-tiled floor. The doorway led east back to the lounge. I also noticed a dog bowl.
Right in the kitchen.
The bowl was round and yellow and had Spot written on it, and it was empty. Aha. We know a dog called Spot, don't we?
Do we?
Yeah.
Was that the one that came to us?
Yeah.
Oh.
Our little friend.
So maybe we just need to give the dame the photos.
Yeah.
The bathroom was decorated all in pink, just like a dame. Oh, just like a dame. A soft rug lay beside the bath, with a basin and toilet on the near side wall. The doorway was on the west wall. Oh, it's 6 a.m. again, so it's morning. Okay. I don't think there's anything in the bathroom that we can look at. Interesting. Let's try the bedroom. The dame followed me into the bedroom.
Dame?
Oh. The bedroom was the most incredible room you could want. It was like your wildest interior decor fantasies come to life. The bed was huge, double king size and heart-shaped, draped in a purple silk sheet with heart-shaped pillows and black lace trim. An impossibly indulgent rug lay in front of a warming fire, bathing the room in a deep red glow. But it was the view through the tinted glass windows that really got you. Across the river, the lights of downtown Manhattan glittered uniquely, the towering buildings silhouetted against the evening skyline. Music drifted in from the lounge to the south. You also noticed the luscious dame. I'll take my Mac off.
You're going to have to bed the dame, aren't you?
Lay on the bed.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Do it.
I think you should lay on the bed without taking your Mac off.
Oh, that's for her to do. Good thinking.
Look, if she wants the realistic experience.
Did the dog bring the first piece of the
Yeah.
photo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, she's going to ask me if it's a gun in my pocket, isn't she?
Right, you're just glad to see her.
It blatantly is just a gun. I can't lie on the bed. Kiss dame. How about that? I kissed her. Her mouth was like a field of cabbages.
What?
That's weird. Enter bed.
Enter dame.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Undress.
This is all a bit weird.
I actually meant undress myself, but
Well, I've taken my Mac off, mate.
Look, Mike, you do what you want, but can you put your camera off?
Yeah, mute, please. He's gone. He's left.
There we go.
Brilliant.
Wow, that was quick.
It feels like we should come back here when we have all of the pieces of the photo.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I might just nip out and just try giving her a photo.
I was going to say, show her what we've got.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've tried that.
I mean, photographs, to be clear.
Just bring the leg just in case.
Show Dave what we've got.
yeah. I don't think we have access to anything that wouldn't be a euphemism if we say today.
No.
No, I think petite crowbar is.
A cop polishing cloth.
At least we know that if we find some, like a small statue of shagging elephants or something, we know what to do with it.
Yeah. Fact. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to do here.
Go get the photos.
All right. I can just, well, I don't know what the Mac's for. What else am I carrying? I don't need the gun. Okay, that's all of the photos, 4 pieces. Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay, I've just gone back into the bedroom. I also noticed the luscious dame. Seeing I had most of the photograph, the dame produced the final piece. We stuck the bits together and she told me I'd done a great job. You've done a great job, she said. I've got to nip out now. Be back soon. She left the completed photo on the floor and hurried outside.
Oh, let's look at the photo.
Yeah.
Hurrah!
53%.
Oh,
Oh, at least I don't have to carry loads of shit in my inventory anymore.
no.
The photo was an autographed pic of Humphrey Bogart, signed, "Here's looking at you, Dame, love Humph." The backdrop interested me more, though. Behind Bogey, Adolf Hitler could just be made out, showing great interest in a small black statue on display in a pawn shop window. The way he was pointing, it looked like the thing was important. Above the pawn shop, I got an address, Kenmare Street. Okay.
Let's go.
Go to Canberra Street.
Okay, it's noon.
There was something I was going to say earlier when we came across that rag.
Yeah.
There was another, it's a thing that we can take with us and maybe we need to use, but maybe we should also be thinking of it in terms of, we know that he was polishing something copper. So
Yeah.
if
I'm just wondering whether we should go to the library. Like, I feel like if we're barreling ahead and we have this warning from Marlowe, maybe we should just heed the warning and go to the library first.
Remind me what the warning was.
I can't exactly remember verbatim what he said, but it was something about there's something going down in Chinatown, and that he was headed to the library, but he basically called to warn me, or warn Dick Spanner.
I'm happy to go to the library.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Let's drive to Manhattan. Okay. Oh. Okay, so it said drive to Manhattan. It says it doesn't know that place, and same with the library. Was it Lower Manhattan?
Maybe we can't go there then.
Damn. I don't suppose someone could just have a quick look back at last week's.
Yes, Francis has written it down there. It's Central.
Central Manhattan.
Central Manhattan, okay.
Yeah.
No, drive to Central Manhattan. Oh, I've misspelt it. Ah. Oh, okay. So we have to save our position to go to Central Manhattan. Okay. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, reset the computer and load. Part, I wonder. Part 2. Gonna restart. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we're in Central Manhattan now. Times Square. Bustling commercial, what have you. Huge illuminated displays glittered all around and above me, pushing their wares like I wished Velma pushed her pen. To the south, the corner of 7th and 42nd Street was visible. I also noticed my car parked on the curb. Okay, so I guess south is the way to go from here. Can't go west, north, or east, so go south. I was at the corner. 7th Avenue stretched away north and south. 42nd Street east and Broadway southeast. Okay, so we can go southeast. There are diagonal directions. That's the first diagonal direction we've encountered in the whole game. Okay, so north takes us to Times Square. Let's see if we can go south along 7th. I was at the corner of 7th Avenue and 34th Street. The whole place was quite a mishmash, but I could see gaps north and east through the crowd. A little corner shop was just visible nearby amongst the pedestrians. Okay. Where's that then? Go north and east. What's west? South. East. I stood on the corner of 5th Avenue and 34th Street. The former led north, the latter led west, and Broadway led northwest. Towering incomprehensibly high above the street was the Empire State Building. Its main entrance was nearby. I'm just going to go back to the corner of 7th and 34th. So where's this? Sorry?
Try in.
In. Enter shop. I was in Macy's little corner store. It was a quaint old place, small and homely. A gnome-like gnarled little old man stood behind the counter licking his teeth. I also noticed a model aeroplane. Hey there, Shunny. Want to buy the airplane? Rasped the old man. I mean, we could try buying it with the German bills, I guess.
I guess. Do you actually have any money on us?
No.
Just
I don't think.
Keys, gun, and the completed photograph. I should have dropped the photo. Okay, so we can buy a model aeroplane in this little shop. That's a thing we can do.
But if you say no, will he offer you something else that might be more useful?
No, I don't think we can actually directly answer him with yes or no. And when we try to buy it, it says I couldn't, but presumably because we don't have any money.
But when you put Y and N, it doesn't understand that, does it? Like it thinks N is north.
True.
So do you have to say tell shopkeeper yes or something instead? Or no?
Or do you just have to spell yes?
Well, I think to buy it, we just say buy airplane. If we say to man no, it just says the old man said very little. So yeah, I'm not sure answering his question with yes or no gives us anything. If I say no.
No, I agree.
Okay, so suit yourself, Mac. If I say yes, it says that's it, kid. Think positive. I think those are generic responses from the parser. We could say exit shop. Oh no. Okay, let's say yes. Yeah, that's it, kid. Thinks positive. Get out. Leave shop. Yeah, leave shop. We say yes now, it still says that's it, kid. Think positive. Okay, so that's a thing. We can go into the Empire State.
You tried all the exits in the shop, didn't you?
I did try all the exits. Yeah, there's no like compass direction. It is just enter and leave.
We did specifically come here because we were told this is where the library was.
Somewhere around here.
Yeah. Just wonder whether we shouldn't keep looking to the library rather than going into the Empire State Building.
Okay, I was just exploring. I was just
Sure.
like trying, rather than sort of going through everything and trying to find something, then coming back and mapping it. I'm just gonna explore everywhere first, and then just keep going until we find it. I stood in the foyer and looked around. It was a plush joint decked out in marble and typical New York skyscraper internal decor. The main doors led out onto the street, stairs led up. There was an elevator on one wall with a button just beside it. Press the button. The elevator door slid open. Enter elevator. I was in the elevator. A metal panel on one wall was literally covered in buttons. However, only the ones marked 1 and 102 remained unvandalized. Push the button. Up. Nope.
Push button 102.
Push button 102. Well done, Woods. I pushed the button. The door slid shut with a little whoosh. Suddenly, the floor pushed harder up against my feet. My stomach began a valiant attempt to visit my knees, and I felt like I weighed a ton. We rocketed up to 102. With a shudder that almost lifted me off the floor, the elevator decided to stop. My stomach sought repatriation inside my chest, and I thought my weapon was going to come flying up and hit me in the chin, but I always kept it well holstered, if you know what I mean. The elevator door slid open. I'm not carrying my gun. Thankfully.
Not talking about your gun.
Leave elevator. I was on the observation platform on floor 102 of the Empire State Building. An elevator stood nearby, with a button in the wall beside it, and stairs led down. Below, the glittering cityscape of central Manhattan stretched away in all directions. Even though it shows the elevator, I'm actually on the observation deck. If I go down, it says I was on the stairs descending through the seemingly endless layers of the Empire State Building. Go back and we get to the observation platform. So I could walk down the stairs. I don't think we really have anything to do on the observation platform at this point.
Seems like a good place to fly a model airplane.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
One.
Yep. So let's go back down in the elevator.
I was also expecting there to be like a telescope or something, some sort of
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to walk down the stairs in case there's like, an
102
item.
kids.
Well, there might be an item on the
Yeah.
stairs.
I was going to do that, like, off stream.
Yeah, just in case you have to do it 101 times.
Yeah. Yes, just in case I do. Because that's exactly the kind of shit they'd pull.
When we were at the bottom, was there a stairs there as well?
Yes.
There were, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I pressed the button and the elevator was already here. Okay, it's not the same description. I pushed the button. The door slid shut with a little whoosh. The floor dropped away below me and the ceiling came charging down from above. With my face squashed flat up against it, we hurtled down to the lobby. Abrupt as always, the floor suddenly stopped trying to escape and I crashed down onto it from the ceiling. I must have looked like a concertina after that. And my feet were definitely nearer my head than they used to be. The elevator door slid open. There we go. So yeah, from here we can go, there's led up, so we can go up, back down to the foyer. And then leave. There we go.
just relieved we didn't get a description of the gun
Yes.
the way down.
Which presumably is now also closer to the floor. Okay, so we can go north, northwest. West we've been. So let's go northwest up Broadway. At the corner of 7th stretched away north and south. 42nd Street east and Broadway southeast. And if we go north from here, get back to Times Square. So let's go south and then east. Aha! The library was a big old place. 3 huge arches at the top of an impressive front of stairs, with pillars, carvings and statues aplenty. It stood close by, with 42nd Street running west and 5th stretching south. I also noticed the doors were locked.
What time is it?
I don't know. We can wait around.
Can we try to unlock them?
Yes, time to use the skeleton key.
Nope.
Find a side entrance.
Ooh. The 5th goes south to Empire State. 42nd runs west to Times Square. Oh, the corner. So east, 42nd. No, I think this is it. I don't think there's anywhere else we can go. The place was closed. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Midnight. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to wait another 50 turns.
Well, maybe we should go to Kenmare Street and then come back.
Yeah, we could, but it's going to be, you know, dark, like nighttime there as well. 50 turns doesn't take that long, honestly. I've done this a lot.
You should have gone down the stairs.
Yeah, I should. Shit. There we go. 6 a.m.
That would take actually 24 hours, though. We'd be back where we started.
Okay, it's 6 a.m., so I'm going to try and go in. Here we go. I found myself in the lobby. Obviously, when I redo this, I'll try and make sure that, you know, we get to where we need to be at in the right time window. I found myself in the lobby. The main doors opened out onto the street, while to the south stood the monstrous towering hulk of the main desk, and, unless I miss my guess, the monstrous towering hulk of the main librarian. Okay, so that's south. I stood by the librarian's main desk. It was huge, ornate, and almost completely untouched by the ravages of graffiti. On the desk was a large sign. "Silence!" it intoned in large, quiet letters. I quickly cased the rest of the joint. Books to the east of us, books to the west of us, books all around us, except maybe to the north where the main lobby was. I also noticed the librarian. "Banzai!" whispered the librarian, stamping a book mightily. Just look at the librarian. Ask librarian about book. So I've tried examine librarian, nothing special. Talk to librarian, I couldn't. Ask librarian about book. "Quiet!" roared the librarian. She came rumbling over, screwed me up into a little ball, and kicked me out the door. So we're back outside. Go back in again?
Maybe we need to look round the library quietly.
Try west. West. I was somewhere in the library between the towering walls of books. Ways led north, south, east, and west. Okay. Maybe I'll map this off. Well, we've got 9 minutes. Okay, if I go east, I was lost in the books. They were everywhere, and geez, nobody read this much. North, south, east, and west were narrow corridors, not yet taken over by the things. West is back to the librarian. South is the same. Books, books, books. Wasn't there an end to the infernal things? Okay. Shall I map this off screen?
Why did the librarian whisper banzai to us?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not normal, is it?
Didn't whisper it to us necessarily. I think it was just.
What did it say to us?
No. It's just that the librarian whispered banzai as they stamped a book, like banzai.
It's still weird. I'm just
Is that a
saying.
reference? Is that a reference to a 80s TV show, Banzai?
There was a TV show called it wasn't 80s, it was like 2000, I think, or Banzai. It was like a endurance thing where people had to endure like eating chilies, or do you remember? It was like late night on Channel 4.
Yeah, I sort of barely remember.
But banzai is just a war cry, isn't it? It's like a Japanese war cry. It just means like yeah. Wata!
So do we think the library is actually a maze? I mean, it looks like you've gone east and then gone west and it's been fine.
Yes.
Maybe it's just a big box.
Okay, do you want me to just keep... Do you want me to
Just
go
run
west
around
and south?
quickly. Just run around quickly. Just like go all the way
West.
along.
South. East. North. Nope. West again, okay. So no, it doesn't... I guess, I don't know. It didn't match up properly. The descriptions are all different so far. But seeing as we only have 7 minutes left, why don't we just nip to the other place?
Yeah.
I've just looked it up, and banzai, the Japanese meaning of the word banzai is 10,000 years.
Is that what it means?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's sort of variously used as a like a battle cry, but also originally was like a greeting, sort of 10,000 years to you. Apparently. Not sure whether any of this helps. I mean, I'm very sure that none of this helps.
It's just completely normal then.
Might be useful for the pub quiz.
Yeah.
The inevitable pub quiz. Okay. What's the place I'm driving to?
Kenmare Street. Kenmare.
Okay, I think we need to go back to part 3.
Who are we expecting to find here?
Hitler.
Or maybe just a pawn shop.
Yeah, with a black
Check out Trump Towers then.
Yeah, it's the little shop that might have the, what was it, a little figurine or something we're looking
Yeah, a
for.
little
a little
statue.
black figurine.
Are we actually looking for a figurine?
Well, we're just following what was
Yeah.
on the photo, aren't we?
Wasn't it a little, maybe not a figurine? Have you written it down, Svandis? Was it a statue or a figurine or something?
I think it was a statue.
Well, yeah.
think,
But
yeah.
as in we have a photo and we have Adolf Hitler looking at something.
Looking at it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And okay, fine. We've not been told anywhere else that that's what we've got to find. There's no.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I've got the photo here. It's a autograph pic of Humphrey Bogart. Behind Bogey, Adolf Hitler could just be made out, showing great interest in a small black statue on display in a pawn shop window. The way he was pointing it looked like the thing was important. Above the pawn shop, I got an address, Kenmare Street. Kenmare Street was a short affair running east from Lafayette Street across the middle of Little Italy for a few blocks. On the north side was the brightly painted front of a pawn shop. The paint job on it was so bright it stuck out from the other drab buildings like a cake on a compost heap. So it looks like it was literally just this location north into the pawn shop. I looked around the inside of the pawn shop. The whole place was really sleazy. It looked like it was run by a guild of thieves. Various sealed glass cases contained various oddities. A gnarled magician's wand marked Kronos, an oddly shaped trophy, and a broomstick. The front door was south, and a heavy wooden door was set in the east wall. I also noticed the door was shut. Examine wand, a long thin piece of wood with a 5-pointed star at one end and an eraser at the other. And trophy, a C&VG golden marital aid. Computer and Video Games magazine, C&VG. Broomstick. Somebody's company broomstick. Now, kiddies, this is an industry joke and you won't understand it. Okay. Door's locked. And we can't unlock the door. Knock doesn't help.
We definitely have the keys on us.
We have a bunch of keys on us. Can't get the wand. Can't smash the case. No, unlock wooden door. Couldn't do that without the right key, and that wasn't something I had just then. Elsewhere, a small bedside clock was peeping for noon. Unless there's something we missed in the dame's apartment. I tried knock, right? Didn't. Nope.
So are we basically not actually in the shop?
Oh, we are. I looked around the inside of the pawn shop. We're in the pawn shop, but there's a heavy wooden door set in the east wall of the pawn shop. There's some sealed cases with oddities, a wand, a trophy, and a broomstick. I think those are just decoration. But there's this heavy wooden door set in the east wall that's locked and we can't get in it.
I mean, Kronos means time.
Mm-hmm.
So is it trying to tell us that
We're not here at the right time?
or that time, being here at the right time is important and therefore...
I think the Guild of Thieves reference is a reference to the Magnetic Scrolls game, and I think Kronos is a reference to the level 9 games. There's
Right.
Time and magic involve Kronos.
Yeah.
And obviously the C&VG reference and the broomstick, which apparently is a reference to an industry joke. I think there's a bunch of like late 80s text adventure game industry references going on in this place.
We need to open that door somehow, don't we?
We do. I mean, the only two places that we haven't explored properly are in the stairwell of the Empire State Building and the library maze. So, are you guys happy for me to explore the library maze before next week? And if there's
Yeah.
anything in there, I won't,
Sure.
you know, I'll just figure out how to get to it. I won't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I might also try just returning to this location at different times of the day. See if, you know, that anybody's here. But I think we've
Yeah,
done,
if you do a bunch of mapping, including the Empire State Building stuff, and hopefully next time you'll have some options for us to
Yeah. yeah, I'm not entirely convinced that we went everywhere in central Manhattan either. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do that. That was cool though. We did a lot. That was great. We got all the photo pieces, and that's obviously what we need to do because we've reconnected with the Dame, and we've, you know, I was worried that we hadn't done everything we needed to at Joe's, but it was literally all Joe's is for. It seems is bumping into Ben and reading the graffiti on the wall. We've also been to all 3 parts now, so this jumping between parts, this is well sophisticated for a 48K Spectrum game in the 80s, I think. So cool. I'm enjoying this. This is a good game.
Cool.
All
Cool,
right,
cool,
everybody. Have a great
Cool
week.
beans.
Have a good
Bye.
See you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.